You've probably seen this heater in those ads on YouTube. You know what I'm talking about. And they make a whole bunch of claims. And in this video, I'm going to attempt to verify those claims. So if that's what you're here for, before you buy this heater, you might want to watch this video. Okay, so this heater is a handy heater. It's actually, in my opinion, it's a white labeled heater. So you're going to find them under slightly different brands, but I think it's the same sort of permutation of the same brand. Now the advert actually claims that there are knockoffs on AliExpress, on Amazon, on TikTok, etc. But I think that's just a way to cover the fact that you're going to find them just everywhere on the slightly different brands. But if you open the box, you will find that the instruction manual would have a slightly different name to what's on the box. Handy, handheld are two examples of the different brands that are actually the same. But if you look on the device itself, you will see that there's no actual branding of any kind on the device. So it is indeed a generic device and not a particular groundbreaking released by NASA, any of that. That's just a little bit of advertising. It's hyperbolic marketing. And there's a lot of that going on in this day and age on YouTube, on TikTok, etc. It's a way to sell products. But the question is this thing actually good enough? Let's find out. All right, let's start with the look and feel. It's actually not bad, you know. It's made of hard plastic, but it's well made, you know. There's no janky parts. There's no flimsy parts that's going to break, I don't think. So the unit itself, physically speaking, is actually quite good. That mesh there is also plastic, as far as I can see. Is it metal or plastic? Let's have a look. I don't know, it's hard to tell. It feels like metal, but I'm almost sure it's plastic. But if you think about the temperatures that this reaches a maximum temperature of 35 degrees in terms of what it tries to bring the room to. Obviously, the element inside it, as you can see, is metallic, and that probably reaches much higher temperatures. So basically, if you look up back here, it's got a fan that sucks in the air from here, passes it through the element and blows it out from here. Very basic. Very simple, straight to the point. I don't think there's anything revolutionary, particularly in that. That's just a standard way that any other fan-based heating system works. So one of the good parts, of course, is that it doesn't have a wire. This would have depending on what part of the world you are, this will have the socket of where you are. This one's British, so if you're American, you have American plug. In the EU, you have an EU plug, etc. So this is the UK plug. Now, if you look here, there's a kind of thing that you can press. If you press that, you can actually move that around. So you can mount it either vertically this way or this way, depending on how much space you've got around your socket, okay? Right now, I'm doing it this way, okay? But I could also have it done that way, okay? So to make it so that way it actually clicks into place. So you know, it's actually quite sturdy, okay? Now, the LCD screen. The LCD screen is another thing that is touted in the ad, but if you look at it, it's pretty much a basic LCD screen. It has a preset display, old school sort of, you know, calculator display there. And when you turn it on and off, these are some kind of capacitive based touch screen thing. They're touch sensitive. It's not a screen, it's just a touch sensitive button. Very common technology now. It used to be something amazing back in the day, but that's, you know, everything has that now. If you have touch sensitive earphones, headphones, it's the same technology. So it's some kind of capacitance. It's not a push button, nothing actually moves. So there's no moving parts in this almost at all, apart from this bit there that I just demonstrated. Now, another thing that it claims is that it heats the room in seconds, right? First of all, we can see the obvious issues. Because it has to be right up against the socket, yes, we have the benefit of the fact that there's no wires, so you don't have to worry, but it also is limited in where it can be. If you like, I guess you could use a socket extension for this, but then you'd have to have it pointing upwards unless you have a standing extension of some kind. So there are issues with that, okay? So whereas a normal standing fan, you can move that around the house and place them in more convenient places. This one has to be at the wall. Now, I think that this is designed for a small space like a kitchen or cabin or something like that. And in that scenario, I think it does quite well, but it doesn't heat up the whole house or the whole space in seconds. It takes just as long as any other heater to work. If you stand right next to it like this though, you do get the heat relatively quickly because it's a standard electric heater that heats up and then the fan blows the heat to you. There's nothing revolutionary about that. And it works as it's supposed to, right? But it's not groundbreaking. Okay, if we press that. Okay, I'll just let that turn off before I continue. Okay, I'm already feeling the heat. It takes just as long to warm up as anything else. Okay, I mean, your iron warms up just as quickly. So any electric device that has a heating element will heat up exactly the same. Let me just turn that off. Now, the last claim that it makes is that it's very energy efficient, that is at no cost at all. Now, I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually tested that, but to be honest with you, I don't see how this is going to be any more energy efficient than any other heating system that uses a fan and heating elements. There is nothing special in any way about this. So the ad is unfortunate because it's, been hyperbolic to try and push this device, but it's a relatively good device. Okay, it heats up a small space very quickly. Yes, it's a relatively decent quality. It's plastic. Yes, it's relatively decent quality. Yes, compared to the standards of today, in the race to the bottom, things that we buy online, it's not bad. It's above average, I would say. And it's a good system and it does what it says on the box. But it's not space age, it's not Einstein level, there's nothing new. Oh, yeah, I almost broke it there. It's not space age, it's not anything new. There's nobody that's been investigated by the FBI for leaking any technologies that we've never seen before. It's a heating element with a fan. So do I recommend it? Actually, I do, funny enough. And I've got a link in the description to something like this, if not the exact same one, something very similar. Like I said before, they're private labeled. So if you're interested, you can click on that. That's an affiliate link, which means I may get a commission if you buy and you're in the right place and blah, blah, blah. Most of the time I don't get anything, but it is what it is. It's a shame that they've overhyped it a bit in the commercials. And I feel that a lot of people are going to be disappointed when they buy this and it doesn't do all those things that they said. But if they just advertise it as a normal heater, obviously it won't get as many sales, but then it won't get as many returns. So I actually like it. I think it works and I'm keeping mine for sure.